stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. And usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. Hello, stranger. Fame's been waiting. Just as I recall that ass is still amazing. Playing, baby. Saying, baby. Love it, shit, you know I'm crazy. So go ahead and put a drink up. I'm so glad we got to link up. Yeah, it's taking that off of me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't make me wait, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. 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 I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone.
Claps. tore my house up. They took everything. They took everything, y'all. I just had to come from down from the FBI building, okay? Getting my items back. They came and raided me, y'all. They took Cookie. I just got Cookie back. Cookie, tell them how you went. They kept you, Cookie. What? They kept her overnight, y'all. They said Cookie was my co-conspirator. Yes. Since Cookie had been on them videos with me. Yeah. Ah. Yo. I'm not playing, y'all. I am not playing. This is some serious business. Let me get y'all. Yeah. Let me. Whew. I got the agent. I took a still shot from my ring footage, okay? They came. Okay. Y'all. This the agent, y'all. Badge and everything. I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Is that Tisa? Y'all, is that Tisa? Is that Tisa back? Child, she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying, y'all. Y'all, they confiscated my shit. They added charges on here. Not just that, they said I had been accused of hacking, having 7 stomachs. They took 5 of my stomachs. They ain't gave them back. So I still got 2. I still got 2 stomachs, y'all. They said they wasn't gonna give me all them stomachs back. They left me with 2. That's what I wanted them to take. Okay? I wanted them to take them stomachs. But they ain't want to take all of them. They kept 5. They gave me 2 back. Mm-hmm. They got me for identity fraud. They got me for making fake birth certificates and IDs. Y'all, per intelligence, they got a copy of my employee records. I just got the shit back, y'all. Y'all want to see what they took? They confiscated all the material. I just got it back. But they just needed this so I could make copies of it for when we go to court. Child, Exhibit 1. They said I was making fake birth certificates and IDs. Anthony Latif, this K Kane. 6 pounds, 2 ounces, born to BSG. Mr. BSG and Mrs. BSG, y'all. So y'all know when this was came into play, y'all know they got me for doxing. Y'all know they got me for doxing. They confiscated Tisha picture, or her old picture with them panties on. They said I stole IDs here. Shaboing Boing and Ken. Remember when he got the tattoo of her? This Ken too. They couldn't identify this one though. So I don't know. Y'all, they even got me with Lexi Mama. Mama Lexi. They got me for Martell and Slaw at the gym. They said I've been doing surveillance on these people. Remember Slaw Martell at the gym? Remember that hairline? Remember when she had that bald spot up there? That's what my bald spot at. And y'all, worst of all, they found out that I did work for Carlos and Martell. Because they saying yes in these photos. They said he's saying yes to the employment. They had the proof. They got the proof. So when the FBI agent came, I thought I recognized her. The curls in the hair. And then I seen her video where she confessed to being an FBI agent. Child. And last but not least, they even took my baby photo. They've been watching me. Look at the lashes. They've been watching me. Hey, Caramel. Hey, diddum. Hey, y'all coming in this mall. Hey, simply, not just sitting there eating that watermelon. Hey, black women are in the mother building. Hey, brownie confessionals. Hey, brown skin confessionals. Period. Y'all see, they've been having me under surveillance this whole time. What is that shit about? Y'all so messy. Look at y'all. Eager. Child. Not you over there like Melanie with that watermelon. She Hey, Scorpion Missy. Hey, Miss Ross. Hey, KBI. Hey, Miss Mary. Right? Child. Miss Mary, you gotta catch the beginning. They done caught me up. They had me all down here, got all type of charges on me. Identity theft and all this. See here? They said my stuff looked too much like the real thing. Mm-hmm. But I've been MIA, y'all. My daughter had her baby shower. Hey, Miss Deidre. Had her baby shower. Y'all know for little Bailey, okay? Let me show y'all a couple pictures of the event, okay? Just a couple pictures before people came. It wasn't even done yet, but it turned out gorgeous. Let me share my screen because it don't cost a thing. Okay, show y'all a couple of things been going on. Okay. Y'all see that? Ain't that cute? She was a little butterfly. We waiting on our little butterfly to come. Okay, let me go over. That's the little arch with the picture and stuff. That's her candy table with her little sign. It was lit up. And that's one of the completed tables with the settings and all that stuff on there and the little gift bags for everybody. Okay. Okay. So yes, we had the little babies on this mo. And that's what it is. It is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. Oh, Miss Lois, please don't spit out that gumbo, okay? Because I know that gumbo. Hey, Miss Deidre, I know that gumbo is very expensive, okay? So, y'all, I just had to mess with y'all. I had to mess with the crazies. Y'all know how I gotta do. Right, purple rain, purple rain. Caramel, yes. Hey, Mimi. Hey, y'all coming up in this mode. Y'all staying dry in the South Central Texas, period. Oh, we just getting like some mild weather right now, okay? Because baby, it has been so damn hot. I don't know. Miss Lawrence you got me wanting to go make a pot of gumbo. Okay, I think I got all the ingredients. I know I got my okra up there. Okay, and that's on P. I don't give a damn who don't like okra. I loves it. Okay, it make everything so much better. Wait a minute, did I see my uppity up in this mall? Ups, where you at? You in this mall? Uppity, hey, sis. Hey. Y'all know that's purple is a stoop color too. So yeah, and that picture with the baby, Britt turned that over to the feds, y'all. The feds had her touch it up to add the eyebrows so they could know who I was when they came to snatch my ass up. Okay. So, child, it's been a mess. Hey, sweet ass. Hey, Mr. Girl. Yes, I love okra. Yes. Uppity, you gotta have it in the gumbo. Okay? Like, cause when I make gumbo, especially like for my family, I make two pots because some of them don't eat okra. So I gotta make a pot with okra and a pot without okra. And I'm telling you, that pot with the okra, it have a whole nother flavor. It be slapping. Okay, and that's on P. I wanna bring one second. Uno momento. Uno momento. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. I was about to say, what the hell going on? Not a fly in my house. Where's my thing at? Okay. So this is fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. I just want to give you guys like a broader concept of how these motherfuckers are really like, even on a big scale, like this huge scale. And I'm just little peanuts right now, and how I'm getting stalked and harassed and stuff like that. A smear campaign put out on me for not doing shit. Let me show y'all this. Let me do my fair use really quick. StreamYard done changed up some stuff. So fair use, fair use, fair use. This is Nancy Grace and Tisa Tells. Okay, y'all probably been seeing a lot of all of this shit that's been going on with her and all these people that's attacking her because of this bum ass Diddy shit. Like, he's a bum.
It was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tisa Tells, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had 2 armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse is like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Diddy's supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night. Because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay to do whatever you want. Because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough that you can do whatever you want. And 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tisa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you B, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. You work, apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again, they're not too smart. Because of you, that's how this case got started. We're going to treat you worse than we treated Cassie. Cassie, what we do to you, it's going to be nothing that they had on Cassie. They were screaming. They were yelling. Some people were saying, apologize to Diddy. Apologize to Diddy. Of course, thank goodness, we had Lenny and we had Jimmy, 2 of the best armed guards out there. So the one thing is they started foaming like wild dogs because they realized that I was not an unprotected woman. And they realized they could not just do what they felt like. And they started foaming like wild dogs, screaming, their voices cracking in anger that they viscerally wanted to rip me apart. This is why their hero had been exonerated. Even in the best of times, these people that support him, there's something wrong with it. And I gotta tell you, Nancy, it wasn't just me. It was not just me. It was anybody that didn't have a pro Diddy stance from the beginning. That's who suffered.
Joining me in All-Star panel, but I want to thank Tisa Tells for what she's doing tonight.
Now, do she deserve that? No. And this is how they come after you when you don't agree with what they agree with, or you have a different stance, or you see through their bullshit. Y'all know Diddy had to come out of retirement on this mofo, okay?
So I think you should play what'd you say, Tay?
I said not the let me clear my throat.
I think you should play the video where she was on live. I think there's a couple of shorts. If you type in, like, I think it's Tisa Tell gets attacked at the courthouse. There was a guy that was actually following or looking for her so that he could verbally attack her. I think it would help the audience that haven't seen it before we get into like the discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not on my laptop right now, or else I would have had it pulled up for you, player.
I'm about to put it out here. Let me see if
Okay.
Another angle, so I hope this shows it all.
Okay. because there is a lot of people like, oh, well, there's a lot of people saying like, oh, well, he didn't really do much. He was just voicing his opinion. Then they're trying to spin a narrative because she did clap back at him. Well, I'll just let you play it and then we'll talk.
Yeah, it was what they call them, rat shit TV.
Yeah, that I think that's the nickname that's going around. His real name is Ratchet TV, but they've been calling him Rat Shit TV. At least that's what I've been seeing on these interwebs.
You bullied Diddy's entire family. Yeah, let's get back into it because you're a liar. Why don't you tell them people about that RICO you promised them?
Now, how the fuck she promised them a RICO and she ain't the prosecutor?
Right.
The RICO that she said that he committed, which they showed proof of him committing RICO.
Right. Like, a lot of people think that the jury got it wrong. So why are you screaming at her for having an opinion? She felt that based on their case and what they laid out, that he committed RICO. A lot of people felt that way. It wasn't just her.
And let's clear this up. And let's be fucking clear. They came back that first day. They came back with a verdict on 4 charges. But they were stuck on the RICO. Right?
Right.
If they had found him guilty of those 4 charges, if they had found him innocent of all 4 of those other charges, then the RICO would have been a slam dunk, not guilty. So, in my opinion, they had to have found him guilty of at least 3 or all 4 of those other charges in order to be stuck on RICO. And what to say, the RICO came with an automatic life sentence.
Right.
That's the part I feel like they gave up on. I think
right.
those jurors gave up on that shit. Because if they had found him not guilty of the shit, it wouldn't have been a question for the RICO.
Exactly.
I don't understand either why people acting like he was completely exonerated. He wasn't exonerated of everything.
No, he was not. And I feel like what happened was, I feel like they had him actually, in my opinion, guilty for the sex trafficking of Cassie, but maybe not of Jane Doe. And then I think what ended up happening was they said they had to find 2 predicates. So the other people in the room was like, well, the second predicate is the distribution of the rugs. And that's why they sent that question out asking, well, what does distribute mean? Or whatever the case may be. Because again, you had some people in there that no matter what, that I'm starting to think allegedly that there was a couple of plants in there from the begin that was always going to see it. Not that because they were it. First of all, let's talk about the composition. It was 8 men and 4 women on the jury. So it was already heavily men. The ages of the men ranged from, I believe it was early 40s to early 70s. So it was a decent range, but I think there was a lot of misogynistic views. And they just kept saying, well, domestic violence isn't RICO. But in my opinion, they weren't charging him with domestic violence for a reason. They were charging him with RICO because everyone around him is who carried out his dirty deeds. Of course, he never carried out his dirty deeds because he was the head of the organization, of the enterprise.
Okay, let me see Miss Jean. Thank you, Miss Jean, for the 199 super chat. She said, sorry, Faye, she lied. Can you tell
me what did she lie? Yeah, I would love to know what she lied about. Because I keep hearing people saying she lied, but then they can't name one thing that she lied about. Her having an opinion on something and saying, I think it should be RICO, or this is how I saw it while I sat in the courtroom. I feel that this person reacted this way, this person reacted that way. That's not lying. That's having an opinion. There's a huge difference between telling a flat out lie.
Yes. And so she said throughout the throughout the trial she lied. Like about what? What did she lie about? Because
Yeah, that's too general.
yeah,
Like, say what she lied about. Like, you can't say someone lied and then you don't have like specifically what they lied about. Because to me, that sounds like going with a narrative. Because to me, I'm all about receipts. What did she lie about? No, what the problem is that people did not like her opinion. When she was giving her opinion on what she saw, that was her opinion.
She always
I think that they felt this way.
She's used to be like, he is cooked. He is cooked. She was like,
Right.
that's just what I think, guys. That's just what I think. He is cooked. And even
Right.
when she
They got him dead to rights.
right. And it was more than her, because even some of the people that kind of was going like up for him or whatever, like when he came, when that day when they came up with them four charges, that they had the verdict for 4 of them, but they were stuck on the RICO, everybody that was in that court was looking pitiful, because they said he was in that bitch crying, head down, bow down. His lawyers was massaging his damn neck. He looked defeated. And the lawyers did too. So
yeah, they thought for sure that they was coming back with a guilty verdict.
Damn shit. I think that them attorneys, not that they were that good, I think they just were incredibly shocked that jury found him not guilty on the RICO.
And definitely on the SEX trafficking, because I think for sure that here's the thing. It was proven with Cassie. I think that they might have had a little bit more of a harder road with Jane Doe. But with Cassie, when he beat her and drug her halfway down the hallway, the only reason he stopped dragging her by her hair was because he was tired. It wasn't because he wanted to stop dragging her. He was just tired of dragging her. And he just assumed that she was just going to get up and come behind him because he had already like showed her like, you need to come back. That is actually trying to keep somebody against their will, which in my opinion, that shows that she did not want to do it. I don't care if she had freaked off a million times before that. If that one time she didn't want to do it, that's no.
Like rape. That's why they say like, husbands can grape their wives, because it don't matter if you've had intercourse with this person before. If one time you say no, that's it. It's no, it's no. So yeah, Jean, I don't think that you a Diddy fan or whatever, but she said, but something wasn't right.
But even if you are a Diddy fan, that's fine. I would love to like just say you saying something wasn't right, but that's different from lying. So what did she lie about?
Yeah. Point that out, and I'll put the link in the chat if anybody want to come up and express.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll finish playing the video.
Okay.
With that dry ass wig, tell them about that RICO you promised them. Tell them about that RICO you promised them, Tisa. Tell them about that RICO you promised them, Tisa. Exactly. You gotta do that. You sweating. She's scrambling and scraping, baby.
What is she scrambling and scraping about? She got her money from the trial. Whether he's innocent or if he was found not guilty or guilty about it. It's nothing to her because she's not one of his victims. She was advocating on behalf of the victims and not promising, but hoping that he would get his just due. And it's not over anyway. And again, why are you attacking her outside of that courtroom? Why are you asking her questions? You didn't go to her, ask her for an interview. And can you interview her? You telling her why you lied. Why did you lie? You lied. Right. To them. You promised them a RICO. How the fuck can she promise them a RICO? She not in the fucking
prosecution.
Judge. She wasn't on the jury. She wasn't in the motherfucking on the prosecution side. She wasn't. Right. Side, so she can't promise them shit, because at the end of the day, we don't know what the fuck is gonna say when they make their deliberations.
Right. But in her opinion, she felt that the prosecution had proved their case based on the law and how it read. That was her interpretation. So I feel that this whole narrative of, and this is where to me, people get caught up in that group think thing. Like, instead of thinking for themselves, they get caught up in group think. Well, she lied, but they can never specifically say, well, what did she lie about? Okay, just because she sensationalized her reporting, which she did, that's her style. It's always been her style. If you've ever watched her channel, she's always been very excitable when it comes to reporting on the stories or whatever. But if she feels a certain way about something, then she's never professed like, I am reporting like a NBC or a CNN where they're actually just reporting facts. YouTube channels and content creators are opinion based pieces. They are supposed to be biased. Like, they're the people that actually state that they are reporters, they take certain oaths, they sign certain papers, they belong to certain groups and leagues in order to be a part of, like, I'm a news person, I'm a journalist. Because that's why you can't just call yourself a journalist, because there are certain criteria that goes with that. People that do YouTube is basically on here to express their opinion, okay, on what they see, on what they think, on the issues that they believe in, that they don't believe in. So for people to keep chanting, she lied, that to me just don't make sense, because not one person can spot one lie that she told. They can say, well, she did a video I don't like, or she has some opinions that I don't like, or I feel that she was heavily for the prosecution. That's fine to feel that way. But to say that she lied about what? Because she was reading court documents. I know one time she might have got something wrong when it came to, like, maybe dropping some charges or keeping some charges, but that was something that anyone would have gotten wrong, and she corrected it. She was like, I was wrong about that. It had some, I didn't understand the predicates. I didn't understand charges versus predicates when it came to the RICO. They removed some of the predicates, and I assumed that they were dropping the charges. And she corrected that in the next video. So I just feel like to scream, she's lying again, is part of the whole group thing, because where's your receipts? Show me, just say, like, she lied about this and it was that. No, if you don't agree, you don't have to agree, but that doesn't mean a person lied, in my opinion.
And that's one thing too, like that. I want people to be careful when they say things like that, because that is so wide range and vague. Like, if somebody lied, like, you can say exactly what they lied about and show the proof. Just like, and I'm just saying that, and we might be taking it a little personal, and not toward anything toward Jean or anybody else that says she lied or whatever, okay? Nothing personal or whatever, because y'all definitely entitled to y'all opinion as well. But we have been victims of that, of people saying, here she is lying, but they don't have no proof of me fucking lying. Just like, you're a bully too. And what do you mean I'm a bully too? So you acknowledging that the other person is a bully, and you trying to add me into, like, so to make both of us bullies, but you not adding no fucking context. Video, timestamp of me being bullying. That's all I want. Because again, like, I don't live a miserable life. So bullying ain't in my damn category. Like, I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't care enough.
Myself feel no type of way, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. Like, I don't have to do that, because I don't feel that low about myself that I have to bully somebody. Like, it's just period. So when people say things like that about people that's, especially us that's on these platforms and stuff like that, we just want some specifics. Like, when I say that, let's say we're going to go with Rick James bitch Esquire. When I say that she's lying on me, she's lying that I harassed her. She's lying that I stalked her. She's lying that I had any contact with her beside the one outside of YouTube, beside the one email that I sent her about being respectful in my chat. That don't constitute harassment.
Right.
Somebody might have another window open. They might want
Oh,
to.
let me mute.
Yeah. She lied about me making terroristic threats to her father. All of these things were lies, and she has the burden of proof to prove them. I showed y'all the email that I sent her. That doesn't constitute harassment. People say I'm
Yeah.
lying about a
And it's
private
one
eye
of those,
coming to my house. I showed proof of a private eye coming to my fucking house.
And
Then it
right, and
changed.
that's the
Now
thing.
I'm
That
in the private eye. Like it always moving the goalposts when you show the proof of things. When I say
right.
somebody is doing something, I show y'all.
Yeah.
I show y'all. I don't just come on here with this bullshit. Y'all forget my little skit from earlier, okay? Y'all know I gotta laugh to keep them crying. But I show y'all. So it hurts when people is saying these things, because now other people will pick up on that shit and be like, oh, Tay a liar, Tay a liar, Tay a liar. But not one of them can show when Tay lied.
Right.
it's one of
Right.
those where anyone can say anything, but the receipts always show the proof. That's why, like Didum said, I operate with receipts. Show me some receipts, because anyone again can say anything. So do we just run with what people are saying blatantly, like just because it could very well be a lie?
Wait a minute. Let me get Gene Houston together. I do bully who? Who I bully beside Cookie? Who I bully, Gene? And again, where the video and timestamp? Video and timestamp. Please leave my chat, because y'all want somebody to bully y'all. Y'all wish y'all was that important for me to obsess over y'all like y'all do over me.
Hmm.
How sad and
The
tragic.
obsession is real. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like
crazy.
how sad and tragic is that? And y'all
That's no quality of life if all you thinking about is somebody that you don't know in another state that you see on social media. Like, find something else to do. Like, it's just not that serious. Like,
yeah,
it just
y'all
isn't.
see it
Never.
like right here.
Miserable.
Like right here. And let's guarantee that Gene will not put any receipts. And it's not the other Gene, okay? We the other Gene cool, okay? This Gene Houston. Like, we gonna see. You see it's crickets. Cause where is the line?
Right.
Okay?
But that's how I feel about the whole Tisa thing too. I just keep seeing these videos popping up. Tisa lies, Tisa lies. No, what it is if you see the people that's saying that she lies, they literally don't have any context in regards to like her lying. They have no context. They just repeating what they see other people saying, or they don't like her opinion. So now her opinion has become a lie. You can't lie when you're giving your opinion. And then you definitely can't lie if you're sitting up there putting something on the screen and reading from it. You may not, again, you don't have to agree with a person, but to say that they're lying, like, it's like the definition of a lie is to tell an untruth. Giving an opinion is not telling an untruth.
Hey, Alaka, and doing it
Hi,
intentionally. And
Alaka.
even if somebody come and they give some misinformation, if they come back and correct it, that's not them lying. Like, they didn't intentionally lie. Like, and again, y'all believe some of these people. Gene, respectfully drop the receipts. That's what you do. That, like, again, like, quit playing with me. Portia and anyone disagrees with you. When the fuck I bully Portia? Everybody know I love Portia. What are you talking about, Gene? You on the wrong channel?
The way, yeah, I think she confused. She might be in the wrong place because the way Tay be arguing me down about Portia.
Right. I was just
Portia
about
is
to
her
say.
girl. So, Gene, I think you got it wrong this time, boy. I think you in the wrong chat. Because Portia is Tay's girl. Portia cannot do anything wrong, okay?
Mistaken
Portia and Drew.
identity.
Look, Portia and Drew are her girls.
Yes.
And
And we
every
all
time
know
she
that
comes
Drew be
in,
telling tall tales. I done caught Drew in about five
My girl too.
lies this season alone. And Tay be like, she ain't mean it. She ain't mean it. And I'm like, Drew be telling tall tales now. I know that they be cute little lies, but Drew ass be lying now. I done caught her in several lies. Tay, she be like, no, she didn't. She ain't mean it. I be like, you know what?
Whatever, y'all. Yeah, Jen, you might have mistaken identity. You might think I'm talking about somebody else. Okay, so yeah, you got it wrong there. So okay, and it was anybody who disagrees with you. I disagree with you right now, and I'm still being nice to you. Do you know what bullying mean? Child, we cannot be bothered.
Right. Because now you ain't even making sense. Like if you want to have a conversation, have a like a adult conversation. Like that don't even make sense. Like, please. That's another thing too, is that I don't know if you finished playing this video or if we need to find another one, but Tisa fried him and I thought that shit was hilarious. And people were only playing the part where Tisa fried him and saying like, why did she call him that? And like weird stuff like why did she say that to him? Never addressing the fact that this man actually started to look for her. Like he was live saying, where's Tisa? Where's Tisa? When the verdict was read, he was looking for her to engage in a negative interaction with her, like looking for her. That is weird AF. Like, I don't care what people think. That was weird.
Y'all all out there, giving commentary and doing y'all stuff or whatever. It's not your job out there as a content creator to go up to her talking about why you lying and why you lied and all. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Go do your fucking commentary. Don't ask me shit unless you want. Look, on record, can we talk later? Because, you know, you was Fun Diddy getting all these shit and you was, you know, real certain. So can we do a live together and, you know, go back and, you know, whatever the case may be? That could have happened, but he didn't do that. He chose to go up to her. Like, that shit not a simple question. And I hear people say he was just asking her. No, the fuck he wasn't just asking her. When the fuck is approaching somebody in that manner, talking about why you lied to them people, why you doing this? When is that just a question? That's an accusation.
Hey, ladies.
Take offense to that, even if you was lying, child.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, ladies. Hey, y'all are truly my girls.
Child,
I was thinking the same way y'all was thinking, like, where was she lying? Because I have heard several content creators say things wrong. What they were talking about was the way she put things on her clips.
Yeah.
And not only that, let me drop some tea. Why he get ready to go to court for beating up his girlfriend?
Exactly. Not just beating her up. They said damn molly-whopping her ass.
Right.
He was supposed to be in New York. Go listen to the Miss person.
Right. He got permission the first time and then he took it upon himself and came back.
And gonna keep up some shit. And you on paper.
But I agree.
He
I'm
went
like
through the sewers, old rat tatooey ass. He was Mr. Splinte ran through from Texas to New York through them sewers and made a full scene knowing he wasn't supposed to be there. Like
I'm supposed to be there.
Don't give him no alibi, child.
I'm like, okay, but she ain't doing no more. She's a little animated. She's always animated. Like Brown Skin said, she's always been animated. She amped things up. She's passionate about what she believes in. But I've heard several of them get things wrong. Several of them.
Yep, you're right.
Say things that wasn't correct. But
that's why
where did she lie?
It was given like a coordinated like campaign to like attack her.
Exactly.
That's what it's given. Like, I don't see anything different because there are several, like you said, there are people that got stuff wrong throughout this trial. Like every content creator, and they had to come back and either correct themselves or say, "Hey, I didn't really understand that because it was." Or they didn't address it at all. Right, but nobody is making video after video saying like You lie, you lie. Just because she does not agree and she's a strong black woman, okay, that's the other thing. Now they trying to, she ain't even black. I'm like, what? This
And what
lady
the
is
fuck does that have to do with any damn thing? And
And
why
then they was mad because
black people can
she
fucking
had
damn
security, and then they let her in the
Yep.
court and didn't let some of the other ones in. It was a lot of feelings.
And she explained
It was a
that.
lot
She
of things.
said after
She
she had been
did.
there for a few weeks that she had got tipped off to some game that she could apply to get a new what is it called? New media
Press,
press
New media
pass.
pass.
press
But that's the
pass.
thing. She did her due diligence as far as researching to find out if she could.
Mm-hmm.
That was her doing her work. It's not her
Right,
fault y'all didn't do what y'all was supposed to do. That's on y'all. They're just jealous. But also remember, she made the point that Diddy's team was in a lot of their ears and meeting with them, and possibly allegedly, because we don't know for certain, but passing them money and this and the
right.
promises. So now they have an agenda. They have a motive to attack her.
Yep.
Yeah. And a couple other content creators just was like, when they started that stuff, even when the trial started, people started being divisive. We have to stop falling for that bullshit, because
Exactly.
people are always trying to be divisive toward us. And for what? Hold on, somebody on the chat. We have to quit letting people try to divide us. Hey, Gene, have to have people stop trying to be divisive toward us. It doesn't matter if 15 other people is doing commentary. It doesn't matter. YouTube allows for as many people to do commentary as they fucking want. It doesn't mean you're trying to be like this person, or they'll put in your chat, oh, you trying to be like Tisa. She can't be like Tisha, because Tisa only Tisa. So Tisa can only be like fucking Tisa. I'm trying to be like who the fuck I am. That's it. That's all I can be, is me. But we have to quit falling for that shit and know that people are just trying to be messy and divisive, and or trying to pump people head up and make them feel the way about other people. Like, they even do it with us and the Gossip Girls. Oh, Tay the ringleader, this and that. We ain't got no fucking leader in the damn group. We don't have no damn leader. And everybody already know that Diddum and Brownie will team up on me and attack me in a minute.
You know what? I knew
You
she was
know
gonna go
what?
and get into victim mode real quick. I was waiting for it. I was
I
waiting
was
for it.
too. I knew
But
it
they
was
don't do
coming
this
out
in the
too.
freaking, they only do this in the black tea sector. They do not do this. The white tea sector, I've been watching a lot of different content creators since this Diddy trial. White, male, female. I mean, I've been introduced to a lot of different people since I've been really like following this trial. I noticed that it's not a lot of divisiveness in their chats, and if it is, they immediately just get rid of them. Like, goodbye, they ain't got time. I don't really see that, like, when I watch other content creators that may not be, again, African American, black, whatever we call ourselves now. I don't see a lot of that divisiveness or comparing, two black women. Like, it was so many good content creators at that trial. I had to be like, who I'm gonna watch? Because I wish I had 20 ears so I could listen to everybody, because everybody's take was different. Everybody's experience, even if they got in the courtroom, was different. And I wanted to, well, how did they feel about it? How did they feel about it? What did this person think? What did you see? Like, to me, that's what makes YouTube good, is to see other people's opinions.
Perspective. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you might think one way and then someone says something, you're like, you know what? I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's the point. That's the whole objective. When it comes to YouTube, everyone has their own opinion, everyone brings their own style, and it is what it is. But with Tisa, you're right. They were trying to pin her and Nick at night against each other from day one when it was over there
And when
covering
Lovely
the
T came
case.
down there, and Lovely T
Yep.
told
Yeah.
him the same thing Didum just said. Like, don't do that. Stop doing that to us, because
Stop
I don't
doing that.
to the other colors. Y'all only
Yep.
do that to us. Like, stop doing that shit to us. We all out here doing our thing, or trying to do our thing, or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. Stop doing that shit.
And they
Yeah,
were.
because even
They was out
when
there
Lovely
doing their thing.
What
Yeah,
I
because
like,
even Lovely T went to when the verdict was given, Tisa and Lovely T were talking. Like she had passed by and she was like, "Okay, what do you think about it?" So Lovely T started talking, and they had a difference of opinion because Lovely T said she didn't believe he should have gotten the RICO charge. And then she had brought up something, and Tisa was like, that's a good point. But see how they are even able to, like, she made a point that maybe Tisa didn't think about it. She's like, oh, that's a good point. That's the whole purpose. Like, but they're steady trying to pin them against each other. And it's like we can all coexist. We all got our own opinions, our own viewpoints, and like you said, our own experience. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Quit letting these subbies get in our head. So Gene is up here. Gene, what's tea, child?
Okay, now just like when the situation happened with you and the lady on the other side, I came on. I listened to everybody. I tried to support. I tried to support everybody until I really just find out that you are lying, right? So remember, I came to your. I was like, okay, I'm getting the details. You're reading the court documents. They lying. So I'm like, okay. Now in this situation, I listened to a lot of the content creators that were reporting because, again, everybody can report the same story but have a different twist on it,
That's what
right?
it is. That's what
Okay,
it is. Everybody have a different perception of what they've seen and heard in the courtroom. That's true, Gene. That is true.
okay. So the only reason why I say certain things that Tisa was stating were lies. Number one, it was one of the guys that she put a video out months ago on that stated that guy Diddy had taken that guy out. Well, the guy showed up at the trial. She never went back to correct that, but she had us thinking that Diddy.
What was the
I'll
guy's
say,
name?
I, oh gosh, I'm
Well,
telling
are
you,
you talking about the Jonathan I dude? Are
I
you
don't
talking about him?
see. I don't
Be-
know the names of them, but that it
Was
was
it a
just
white guy?
yes, it was.
I think that's who you're talking about, Jonathan Idy. I don't believe he showed up to the trial. I
Well,
don't
he
think
didn't,
he showed up.
but she was saying that he was Diddy had him taken out. Well, he he can't, I don't think he showed up at the trial, but the man is alive and well. You
Well,
know,
you know
only
what? I
reason,
did watch that video, Jean. The one where she was, because I think she actually even put like a date of
yeah,
death. Yep.
December 31st,
Yes.
2025. It's
I
her, it's her.
watched that, but she didn't say he was actually gone. She was saying that this is what she believed, that she like is this what happened? Like a lot of it was questions. Like did he take him out? Like if you go back and rewatch it, you'll see that a lot of it was asked in a question form. And
Okay.
y'all listen, this is what I think. This is probably what happened. Da 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 da. What have
And
you?
so,
That's how I interpreted it.
okay, so with me watching a little bit of everybody doing this trial, it seems as though Tisa's perspective on things was totally different from everybody else that I watched from, and I don't want to call names. I
Right.
support. I know 4 or 5 people. It's one thing to disagree and have your own opinion, but to feed the narrative of things that wasn't true. I just I, I just can't. I can't
Well,
draw
what
between.
wasn't true though? Like what
Well,
did she
that
say that wasn't
I mean,
true in your
the
opinion?
key word
but
was
that was the
perspective.
right. But wait a
Her
minute, but
perspective.
that was one thing too. When I think the ratchet guy, if it's a video of Amon had a video on, you can see that they were all standing back. Tisa was in that gate. Nobody was trying to attack her. Now he was talking loud, disrupting her, but one making threats to kill. Excuse me, making threats to unalive and things like that. I did not hear that.
She
I
received an email. She received
Yeah,
some
she didn't say
emails.
he threatened her to unalive her. And from what I saw, she
He
didn't
did not.
say he threatened to
He
unalive her.
didn't.
She said that she had received those type of threats since she's been covering this trial. I never heard her say it was actually him that threatened to unalive her.
okay.
So I
I'm gonna
mean,
go back.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I saw.
Okay, I'm gonna
She
go
actually
back.
said she received emails.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and rewatch just her history. The history that I've seen with her on several different situations outside of Diddy. She clickbaits and tell untruths. That's my perspective of things that she said. Her history. That's why I stopped watching her. I used to support her all the time, but I don't know if it was clickbait, but getting people her. She's like one that, because she say it fast and loud and
Hmm.
tries to convince people, that it's more so trying to convince versus being
Mm.
truthful. I'm I'm in Patreon. So when I go in, and I'm gonna go back if I have time, and I'm gonna put some timestamps and videos in your messenger,
Get me,
and
get me.
I want you to kind of look at how I kind of I just
No, I
something
mean, like
wasn't
I
right
said,
with
you
that.
you might you're right, but the thing is, and I get what you're saying, and again, I think how the people reported on it was their perspective. I think that she was very passionate about Diddy going to jail. But every time I heard her say that, like, he's taking his ass to jail, like he's done, he's cooked, he's never getting out. When she would say that, she always will follow it up with, "That's just my opinion, y'all. That's my opinion." That's what she took from the courtroom. Like, it was more than her. Like I said, that day when they came back with the verdict on 4 of them, it was more than her that came and was like, "It's giving he cooked. Like, it's
Well,
giving
and,
he
and I
fucked."
guess I guess I didn't even look at it in that way either, because they came back with four. They didn't. Nobody knew whether it was guilty or not guilty. They just had made a decision on four of them.
Yeah,
So
but
you
can you?
know, anybody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They were
If,
going based on
if
his
the four
reaction
if the
to
four
the
had been not guilty, if the charges they had, these 4 charges,
Mm.
2 of these charges, well, 3 of them, well, if they would have did the prostitute and like one of the other trafficking or something like that, if they would have did those two different ones, then that would have automatically equal recall. So if they didn't come up with, if all of those charges was not guilty, the recall would have been a no-brainer, because even if 2 of the same ones, like 2 of the different ones, like the prostitute and the trafficking, if both of those were not guilty, the rest is a no-brainer,
Yeah,
because it
like
was
we don't have a reason to argue about the
it,
Rico. I
the
the
think
recall
that's
Rico.
would have
why
been a
Right.
they
no-brainer.
were
Exactly.
sad that day.
They
Like,
needed to
because
talk.
people were, yeah, they were like really, really like talking about his reaction and talking about the
And
defense
that's
and how he looked
right. That's
defeated
why
and they looked like they were about to cry and all that. So that means they were assuming as well that, oh my gosh,
right.
this may not look good. So, of course, her perspective is that she feels that he's a monster, and she feels that, he have done a lot of these things that people was accusing him of. So when she came out, then in her opinion, it was, y'all, I think he going up the road. I think he going for the
And
long
it's
one. Like,
and
that
it's
was her opinion. That wasn't a
and that's
lie. That was
also
just her
because
opinion.
Okay, let
it's
Right.
me
also
let me get
because
these
of her
super chats. Let
the
me get these super chats.
reaction.
Go ahead. Okay, 1 second, y'all. Let me get your super chats and then y'all can finish. Okay. Thank you, Kendra, for the $4.99 super chat. If you don't like Tisa, just say that and stop making up ish. Let me get to the next one. 1 second. Thank you again, Kendra, for the $4.99 super chat. She up there excusing the behavior of a male towards a woman in person, no less. Work on decentering men, please, instead of fixating on Tisa. Now,
No, no.
um,
I mean,
I don't
let
think
me
you
just
agree
say
with that.
this. Wait a minute. I'm not a Diddy fan. I don't agree with any of them. I'm non-biased. I'm just looking at what I saw.
Uh
So
huh.
I don't have to agree with anybody. Just like Tisa has her opinion. I just feel like she's been dishonest in other situations that I don't. you know,
Okay.
review her videos. Yes, I caught glimpses of it from the stuff that was happening, but just according to what other content creators reported versus what that I watch versus what Tisa reported was totally different. It's not about me
Okay.
disliking her. I don't know her not
Yeah.
to like her or not like her. I don't know Diddy and I can care less. Just like I didn't know
Mhm.
you guys when
Right.
I came in. I didn't know you guys. I don't know the other side. I was listening
Mhm.
for facts and what who had proof, who had documentation.
Right.
And I look
Mhm.
at if 15 people are saying the same thing and one person is saying something different, okay,
Mhm.
is all 15 of those people wrong?
Sometime
Well,
it sometime it
let,
is, sometime it
yes.
Well, it
look,
can
look,
now.
look.
Wait a minute. Now I'm gonna say in y'all case
Okay.
that's because they all connected.
See,
That's the
See,
thing. They
it's a
could be
difference.
connected,
You got
but
Look at what people are doing to
wait,
Tatum.
wait a minute.
and
That's
Not
what I'm
just
saying. Wait a
that.
minute. Hold on.
okay, go ahead.
Using Tatum's situation. The reason why, yes, it's a lot of people on that side because in reality, it seems as though all of those people are connected. But when you have Stephen A. Smith, you got other CCs, a Queen, you got, you know, Mims, Armand, you have all of these other people that's giving the kind of the same kind of view. And then you have Tisa over here way to the left. So that's the
Okay,
only
so
thing
can
that
I
I
say
am
But
saying.
you also have to pay attention to the perspective. A lot of the people you named were male or male identified. So that
No.
yeah,
could
for
be
sure.
Well, okay. Wait a minute. You right. You said male identified. It could be because I was like, it was some females in there. So okay,
Also,
I
yeah,
Gene,
yeah.
Gene, I wanna enlighten you on something too, real quick, and then I want you to finish your point. You know that there is a such thing as a PR campaign, right?
Yep.
And people that have a lot of money, especially someone like that's a mogul and got millions and millions of dollars to spare, what they can do is they can actually buy people to spin a narrative the way they want that narrative to be spun. And believe it or not, people that you would never believe could be bought can be bought because money talks and you know what else walks, right? So sometimes because I was guilty of this a lot when I first started watching YouTube, that I was just like you, like 1 + 1 = 2. If it's 20 people saying this and it's only 2 people saying this, then these 20 got to be right. Like, and never, and then I started realizing that I wasn't actually looking at it from I wasn't requiring receipts. I was going with what other people said because that was the easiest thing to do. But when I was challenged and they was like, okay, just tell me what you heard that said this. Then I started thinking, nothing. Like nothing really. And I was dead set on it was this because I know blah, 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 blah. Then I realized, like, wow. So it's very easy, especially if you don't care, because we don't care. We come on YouTube for entertainment, right? So we ain't that invested. So when you don't really care, it's so easy to get like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to buy bots to put comments and comment sections that say the same thing. Like I found out there is so many things that especially a rich person can do to spin a narrative on social media. It would make your head spin. It would make your head spin. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out to you. And go ahead, please finish.
Oh
Okay,
no.
one second
You're
before
okay.
Gene go. Y'all, I want y'all to
Um,
Gene is not the same Gene Houston. You're not Gene Houston, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
and I have
I
to
told you that that's not the same person.
I have to apologize to Missy in Kentucky because I thought I was in a bad area in Plano and I didn't have any reception, so I kept going in and out. But when I came back, she had a a ugly comment, and I thought it was to me, but I think it's another Gene
Yeah,
in the chat.
This
So
Gene is not the Gene Houston.
no,
This
I'm
is
not
Gene
Gene
that
Houston.
think that Tisa be telling them tales, and the other
Yeah.
Gene is the Gene Houston is the one that called me a bully. Sir will
No,
go
no,
off. Thank you for the
no.
$5 super chat. Quit being messy, y'all. How much to drop Gene
Um,
in the chat? This not Gene Houston, y'all. Tay,
it's
ask
a
her
different
about
thing.
calling you a bully. This not the same
Yes,
one.
no.
Why did
I'm
she
not the
get
same
okay?
one.
This
I
not the same one, y'all.
I am a Tay supporter. I love Tay, and I would never say that because I've seen what people have done to her, and
Thank you. Thank you
I
so
thank her. If it wasn't for those court documents, I probably would be still confused out here in these streets. So I appreciate you guys. No, I
much.
mean, I just
Um,
again, I understand. What was it? Denim? What was that? Denim?
Did
Who was
them
Yeah,
talking?
get
that
yes,
was
it's
it?
me.
nice.
Yeah, and I understand it, and I'm still open for growth.
Yeah.
In my mid 50s, I'm still growing, and I'm not too invested not to learn or not to see the other side. I just was going by what I saw in the times that I had time available to listen to some of the content creators. I
Right.
wasn't too vested to go. I'm not looking in comments. I'm just listening to their takes on things, and
Yeah.
it just
Right.
really it
And
was
that's what they go on because they know a lot of people not invested. So that's why it's
Yeah.
easy to spin the narrative on someone that's just coming on, looking real quick, want to get a kiki and get off. It's so easy to spin that person's perspective real quick, and it's manipulation. Ms. Jean, it's
It
manipulation.
is.
Yeah,
It
there
It's
is.
is.
just like the
I've
people
heard
that
people.
Nice.
putting male's picture on their thumbnail to get people to come in to watch their YouTube.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Yeah,
It's a
a
lot,
lot
and,
of
and
people,
they
a lot
not
of
talking
people.
to nothing about male. They might be talking
Nothing.
crap about something else, or it's
Exactly.
the same thing as
Right.
like people like they say stuff about people on their pages, and then they tell people not to go to their pages, but clearly they're watching everything that the person do.
yeah,
So they don't want the person to come to your page to hear that you ain't doing none of the shit they saying you doing. So it's
Mhm.
so disheartening, and that's why I feel for Tisa, because the shit is being done to us. The
Yeah.
shit is being done to us. Let me see who this is this a locker?
Yes, it's
yeah.
me.
How am I saying?
Hello,
Y'all, I have
hello,
Reba is
hello.
a good
I
view.
thought I'd jump in because like it's so difficult to get hold of some people who start with the letter D. I don't know. Do you know who that might be by any chance? I don't know. Anyway,
Look,
I just want to actually jump on the bandwagon of what Didum said in regards to people actually getting paid. Are you guys actually aware there are agencies that exist where corporate companies, politicians, etc., can actually book influencers through those portals in order for them to spin a narrative that they want? All you have to do is follow the breadcrumbs and pay attention to the messaging, because what they literally do is give them a script, right? They give them a script and they literally say, they regurgitate the same thing over and
Yeah,
over
when you
again.
keep
At this
saying,
point,
"Oh, the goal,
hmm
this person's this," when
yep,
it's
yep,
like you said, when it's the same messages, people will buy
hmm
bots to do that.
hmm
Yes, bot
hmm
farms and all types of stuff.
That's
yeah,
why
and those
Nancy
agencies do
Grace just
exist.
kept
Yeah,
bringing Tisa back because their views are the same. They
yeah.
react the
and do
same.
I have a question for y'all that's up on the panel. Hey, Kendra,
Hey, Tay.
I have a question for y'all. Do y'all
Hey,
think if
Kevin.
Nancy Grace was out there in that barricade, and also just to be clear that Tisa ain't getting no damn favors, when she was back there, she was doing commentary, but when the marshals seen her ass back there, they was like, you gotta go. Oh, she was like, oh, I gotta move. Yes, move it along, move up out of this mofo. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like she wasn't supposed to be back there either. But
Right.
I have a question. Do y'all think that if this was Nancy Grace standing out there giving commentary and she feels the same way as Tisa, do y'all think that rat shit TV guy would have came up to her saying that shit that he was saying to her?
Hell no.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no,
No,
No.
No, it's actually a
No,
disgrace to the way a lot of black men think that it's okay. They can be so ballsy to approaching black women so aggressively at every given moment without any shame, without any thought about the fact that their skin
No,
is exactly the
no,
same color.
no,
The
no
fact that
worry or no consequences, no shit.
nothing,
Because I've
nothing, and they
heard
don't
people
do that to
say that
anybody
Tisa
else. They
attacked
literally do
him.
not do that to anybody
Yeah,
else.
I've heard people saying that Tisa attacked him by calling him a broke N word, but he didn't. He just asked her a
But
simple question. It's
a
not a
simple
simple question.
question.
To me, like that approach was aggressive. That approach, don't come up to me with that shit.
But
Like
she
you
didn't
don't know who
lie.
I'm at. I got security for a fucking reason.
Tisa didn't lie though. He is a bro ninja.
And it looked like an abusive
I mean,
one as well.
He
well,
got
now
TROs, I'm sure.
I'm just gonna say, we hear so many people talk about people being broke. Can't don't nobody know what's in anybody's pocket. So
That's true.
I think that's kind of
That's true.
elementary, as it relates to calling
Yeah.
someone
Yeah,
a
because he
broke
got a
ninja
lot of
or something like
followers.
that.
Like
In
what
my
I
what he
mean,
opinion,
got? Like
if he
200,000
said it,
followers or something?
you're
But
not
but
sitting here
but
looking for the politically correct way to read them. You're gonna say everything. That's why people be like your mama. That's why your
exactly.
mama hates it.
My
People
my
can say whatever
my
because
issue
at the point that we have beef, I'm not sitting here trying to not hurt your feelings. I'm gonna say everything. Yeah, you broke, you this, you that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real. But it's sad that not only did he feel comfortable to attack her, but everyone
Hmm.
acts as if it's okay and normal. And a lot of
Hmm.
people stood by the
no one
person
intervened.
who didn't
And
intervene. I
thought it
would
was
say
funny.
the person who
And
put
thought it
this
was
on
funny.
video.
so
No
wait,
And
one
that's
intervened.
hang on a second. I have a question here so that I can go and listen to it. But even Armand had said, made a video or something talking about that they were going, or I don't know if it was the ratchet guy, but Tisa was into it with someone else upstairs,
No,
and they were going
it
back and
was
forth.
this guy from North Carolina.
my issue
Okay,
is
so
that
it
why
was
is
Was
any
the
she
male
into it
approaching
with
her?
them, or was they
No,
trying to egg her and get
well.
into it with her?
Right.
No,
See,
he got
I
him. The guy
I
from
don't.
North Carolina got into it with Tisa too.
I don't
Yeah,
like the fact, Gene,
Mhm.
that you keep coming up with excuses for these poor behavior from these men.
no,
You all
no,
over
I'm no,
Tisa, but you're
no.
excusing their
What I
approach, saying calling her
wait,
out her name, approaching
wait
her
a
on
minute.
the street like
I
it's
wait,
okay and
wait a
she's
minute.
in a safe
Hold
place
up.
and she's not. My
I
issue
did.
is
Wait a
that
minute.
I
I'm
don't like
asking.
I
Wait a
don't
minute.
like the
Hold up.
fact that you're also
Hold up.
citing Armand Wiggins. He is
Hold on.
documented as not liking us.
Wait a
Period.
minute.
And
Hang on
several
a
of those
second.
other
Nobody
content
I am.
fucking with
I
him.
had.
creators
I'm
are male
asking.
identified.
I am asking
Okay,
a
you got one at a
question.
time, one at a time, one at a time.
As
I
Jump
may
in,
be
y'all.
new, so
Jump
I don't know
in.
why I'm being
as
talked
I was
over.
asking. As I was asking a question before I was cut off, I was saying, can someone tell me where to go and find other videos? I'm going by what I saw. If I didn't see it, I can't understand it. So
That's
that's what I'm
But
asking.
okay.
I
Let's
understand that.
so. Hey,
because Armand was into it with the girl that he told her he was gonna slap the shit out of her.
I mean, I don't know, and I'm not a Amon fan or anything. I just saw the clip when when it came to Tisa. I just saw a clip of Amon
Yeah, she
recording.
said a couple people was trying to come after her, or I
Well,
guess
I don't
people do
again.
try to egg you on. Like I know y'all don't understand this because y'all's just subscribers, but people really be trying
Yep.
to egg. Like if just go to the padded room page, go to her page. Like all she's doing is trying to be divisive and try to egg me on to talk shit to either PBE or whoever else. Like that's they literally do that. And like for what? Like what are you gonna get out of that? Like
They get their name associated to a well known content
crazy.
creator. They
Exactly.
get their name to build their audience. And that's the thing I don't like, where Gina, other people that think like this are coming up and saying, okay, I see this little clip and I'm now hearing this clip circulate in this well connected circle and it's getting amplified. And I'm not going to critically think why they all going against these other two people saying something different with facts. It's the
Well,
same thing we saw play out here. So I don't know why people aren't thinking this could take place in bigger and different circles, especially with this type of media. You got legacy media and you got content creators. They are obligated to report at two different levels. The way people are taking Tisa and trying to make her legacy media, but everyone else is allowed to be a content creator is weird.
I
That's
agree
true.
with you on that. Definitely. I agree with you on that. And that's what I was trying to explain in the beginning too. Like I said, like she definitely, like her opinion, her channel is like large opinion based, and she's bringing a story, but she's bringing a story always with her opinions, with her biases. Like we actually are, that's our commentary. Like we're supposed to be biased. Like this is what I think, but it's totally different from like when Nancy Grace worked for Court TV. She used to get in trouble all the time because she would report on a case, but she would give her opinion and roll her eyes and do it. They would slap her on the hand all the time because they like, you just needed the facts. We don't want to hear your opinion, because journalists, they do have like a totally different level of how they're supposed to report. But with content creators, we literally, like, that's what we do. That's the whole reason why we come on, is because we want to hear ourselves talk and
And
we can
believe
give
it or
our
not, they
own
depend on
opinions,
y'all. They
right?
depend on y'all a lot now.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I can understand, like, to play the advocate, like with Miss Jean, I can understand how it can be, how you can get led in a certain direction. Because if you're inundated with someone, and Tisa lie, she lie, she lie, she lie, she lie, she lie, and then you, like you said, like I know it was one guy that she said this, that, the third, and the fourth, because that is the narrative being spin. That's why I knew exactly who you was talking about. Because when people were pushed to the wall to say, okay, well, what did she lie about? They came up with something, a story that she did. Actually, I think it was like 2 years ago. That was the first time she talked about him. But then going forward, when he wasn't able to be found, all of the systems and all of that stuff, then they was like, she lied about that. When she saw that he was alive and well and whatever, she reported that. But while he was unable to be found or whatever in the system, she was like, listen, I don't know, did something to him. She was throwing these different scenarios out there, and it was salacious, but that's kind of,
And it was
her
probably
style is salacious.
yeah, and it probably again was clickbait because we want people to get up in this mode.
Yeah.
And some people go a little beyond with the clickbait.
But I mean, Diddy
Too
ain't
much.
above
Too
doing what
much.
she was insinuating too.
You said what?
I said Diddy isn't above. Hold on, sorry y'all. Hold on. Diddy isn't above doing what she was kind of insinuating, allegedly, and in my
Right. They
Right.
say
opinion.
he took his own baby mama out. So for him to do with the guy that was initially putting out the information about him being into the how you doing sector, um, I mean, I could see him wanting to get rid of that person. But like you said, like, if I
Wendy Williams told it all years ago.
Yeah,
Years
this
ago.
isn't new.
And guess what, y'all? She was blackballed. She was fired from her
Right.
job, and she was bald, and she had to go get a job in Philadelphia because she worked in New York City. She was attacked. When I say attacked, I mean there was like a smear campaign going on about her, all because she told the truth on Diddy. All the stuff that's coming out about him, when said, I know 20 years ago. It may be 15, but she said it a long time ago, and she was heavily punished. That behavior does not change,
No.
especially if you narcissist. It's called a narcissistic campaign. Tisa is very victim adjacent. Okay, so in her mind, if you beat on women or you these things or whatever the case may be, then she got an issue with you, and you a monster, and that's always been her stance. So I can see there would be a smear campaign happening towards her now, because she's reporting on it, but reporting with her opinion, which is she don't like him, and he don't want no one to like him. He wants everyone to be pro him, or if nothing else, don't say nothing negative about him. Don't open up people's eyes to the fact that he beat the crap out of Cassie in front of that elevator and drug her like she was a freaking animal. Like all of that, being reminded of all that stuff just reminds you of who you're dealing with. And I feel like that's the worst thing for narcissists because they hate to be confronted with the truth. So I do that he has like a whole campaign going like against her. But what's happening is actually working in the next, in my opinion. And I said this like a couple days ago. This is not going to work well for him because if any judge sees this, then it's oh, so everything they said you it is true. Like you do intimidate people. You do all of these backdoor underhanded things to make people that they're not safe or to
And
threaten them or to smear them.
he
So
well, he in jail. He in jail. He can't do nothing to her. He in jail. What the fuck do y'all think? Why the fuck they wouldn't let him out of fucking jail and get him bond before? Because his motherfucking ass was calling and intimidating witnesses from other people.
To other people.
And it
And
was
that's what the
said that
real was all about.
his son King was calling, looking for Tisa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where is Tisa? Where is Tisa?
Oh,
Like,
and
why
Tisa
would he
wasn't the
be?
only
So that
content
means that
creator
his
being
dad is
sought out.
calling him.
They didn't say
Yep.
where's
Then
Nancy Grace.
But
drop
the
the
thing
mic.
is
Yeah.
that Tisa's not the only one that this pattern behavior
Sis,
has
I
come
think you
for.
might need to lift an arm or something.
I'm
Say
sorry.
that again.
I think you might need to lift an arm or something because the
It,
reception.
oh, I can't hear
Yeah,
me.
it's
It's
providing back.
it's cutting off
Oh,
badly. We can still
Yeah.
the good thing is we can get the gist of what you're saying though.
oh,
Go ahead,
mute.
Kendra.
But yeah, Stephanie Sue came out and shared like he confronted her in the courtroom. Diddy turned around and mounted her. I know you. That's
Right.
Oh
creepy. She
yeah, yeah.
also said people were
I've been
approaching her,
watching
asking
Rotten
her for what
Mango.
hotel she was at. That's
Yeah, he
creepy.
had. Yep. I was actually watching Rotten Mango's videos on the trial because she was obviously
Mhm.
she had the transcripts and she was keeping it completely, you know what I mean, objective. And so I just wanted to follow how exactly it was. She was giving proper descriptions of the courtroom and everything. So that was actually a very interesting take. And I think there's another lady that I came across. Her name is, I think, Melanie King or something like that. She was
Mm-hmm.
reading the transcripts as well. So I was watching from them too. So like all this stuff that's happening right now, I had no idea it was even happening. And for me, it says a lot the fact that I was not paying attention to a lot of black creators because I feel like for me sometimes I'll be very honest, you guys, black content creators need to do better. They
Yeah.
really need to do better because it's like you want to go and follow a bunch of them because you want to support, but before you know it, you start finding
It's
like in
too
their
much
videos and stuff like
shit.
that, they're being nasty, they're fighting, they're lying, they're doing
No,
all
right.
kinds of
That's,
things.
yeah.
What is happening? What is this? And then your algorithm, that's all it ever seems to give you, and I don't like that. It's so negative, and I'm like, we
Well,
need to do better. Like, what is wrong with us?
you know what's wrong with us
It's
is the we really don't hold our men accountable. We
yeah.
excuse their behavior out of what legacy and remembrance of violence has taken place in the system. We want to be protective of them, but I think it's poor on our form as women to intervene
Mm,
with the consequences of men. Like,
Yeah.
why am I putting myself in a
Because
space
they'll
where
never
I could be
take up
harmed to
for our
defend their
asses.
ego?
right.
Only if
It's
a
crazy.
handful take up for us when it's time to go to bat for something.
Ooh,
Again,
Mm,
we coddle these damn boys too much. They don't have men and real men in their fucking life, so we trying to teach them the rendition of what we think a man is. At the same time, baby in their asses. We gotta stop this shit too. Okay, just like
that's
with his
true.
mama. Like I said before, it's no motherfucking way on God's green earth would me
Hmm.
as a mother, sit in that fucking courtroom listening to the shit those people was saying about my son was doing to them. When I tell you, I would have been in there, they would have had locked me up because I would have beat the hell out of him in that court.
but
Tell him
Tay,
you guilty.
you know the history of his
Tell
His
him you
mama.
mom,
fucking guilty.
no,
He's
but the mom
guilty.
taught him that stuff. The mom taught him that stuff.
Exactly.
That's the
Unless
lifestyle that
she's
she introduced him
demented,
to,
again, unless she's
allegedly.
demented, male identified, just like some of these other damn women that don't need to be raising fucking sons because they fucking their head up and they think they can do whatever the fuck they want to do and get away with that shit, doing what the fuck they doing to people. Again, like I said, it don't matter if Cassie begged him to do that shit. Why would you want to piss on somebody?
Well, here comes the spin,
Literally.
though. Here comes the spin, though. You're right, Tate. They're about to spin this because it's all been very intentional. And this is what I don't like when people are already saying the rhetoric that's on the way. The PR campaign has been working since that raid, and it has been working actually since the lawsuit, before the lawsuit. This has all been a
Mhm.
long con. They are trying to put him in a better light. He's a father. That's why those kids were in that courtroom. They are trying to put
Yep.
him in an image as a community leader. That's why them black people were
Yep.
out there acting a monkey fool. And then they're
Yep.
going to come back out once he's sentenced and say, this is a travesty for the Black American community. He's an
That would have
entrepreneur.
been
He's provided all these jobs and education. We really need his leadership. And then they're going to seek a
but
pardon.
what? We don't need people to lead people to doing the disgusting ass
I
shit
don't
that
disagree. That's
these
the media.
motherfucking bums are doing. And that's the thing too. How can anybody that's a good fucking father think that this motherfucker is a good father to even have any of his kids in that fucking courtroom?
That's right.
All your support on the outside. I don't want my kids hearing that
Oh,
shit.
you saw what happened with
That's
the girls
right.
today, right? You saw
Regular
what the twins did
missionary
today?
style sex. I don't want my kids having people recounting my damn sexual activities.
But tell you saw what the girls did today. They released that they're going to now drop a clothing line.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought that was very. I mean, was very suspicious of that. But again, when people were saying a Frico was not a Rico. See, that's the thing with the Rico. The Rico, I think sometimes people have this old style thought process when it comes to that. Like a mafia or a mob boss or something like that, an Irish gang, a Russian gang, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, all it is an enterprise that works to basically fulfill the needs criminally of one person or of the organization. In this case, Puffy was the organization, and everybody around him is what created the RICO. That's why I think that they thought that it was a slam dunk, that it was going to be easy for them to do that, because all those assistants bringing him drugs, setting up the freak offs, doing all that stuff, getting the toots and all of that stuff, all of that was part of the enterprise, and they kept trying to bring it back. All y'all care about is his sex life. True execution
I
to
I
me,
seen two
much more
monsters.
stuff. Hmm.
I seen two monsters that were locked up for Rico. They even said it was a Rico. I
It
watched
is
on
a
YouTube
Rico, but people don't
two.
understand that concept.
Yeah,
They literally only see it like Denham said. They only see
Yeah.
it as a traditional Italian mafia, or
right.
even a gang out of California. They don't see it in a sense of a white collar enterprise acting as a criminal organization. They can't make that connection mentally.
Yeah,
Never
he was
mind,
just
they
having
watch
free
enough
parties.
media around it. They can't connect it in reality.
And they explained it. They explained it.
I
And
agree. They
they
explain
were
it.
the
People can't
mob. They
comprehend.
they were the mob that got locked up back in the 70s. And they were on YouTube and they explained why it was a Rico.
I
Just
agree.
for what Denham said a few
It
seconds
makes
ago.
no sense. I
Yeah.
feel like the biggest thing with that court case is the fact that he had his own, is it Ghislaine Maxwell? I don't know how her name is pronounced. The woman that was,
Yep, he
facilitating
sure
women
did.
for,
But she got
yeah.
immunity.
He had his version of her, and obviously she had immunity, so she couldn't be brought up, right? And so, like, it felt like a show trial to me, where it's like there's something more they're trying to hide, but they thought they'll put him in front as an example. Maybe, I really don't know, but it just, the whole thing just felt really off in how it carried, because initially it seemed like it was going to be a strong case. They made a huge
Yeah.
mistake bringing on Jane Doe, aka allegedly 50 Cent's baby mama, because she was a bad witness. Do you see what I mean? She was a very bad witness. And the
And he
fact
was
that,
still paying for her to live and everything. So she wasn't about to give
and he
up
was
no
paying for her
But
lawyers. How are you going to pay
but
for somebody's
you look
lawyers
at
who's
it from a
testifying
prosec-
against you?
but, but if you look at it standpoint, first of all, there's no perfect witness.
Of
There's
course,
no
yeah.
perfect witness. But if you look at it, you will see why were you paying for her lawyer and stuff? Because again, it's an attempt and a
Mm,
way to try to control people around you. It was
mm.
just another of how you use your money to control, to influence, to manipulate, and to commit crimes. Man, over and over and over again. Like it to me, it was a no brainer. He was
It was.
doing stuff that was Rico. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
Rico.
It
But
is
did
Rico.
him.
It's
But did
definitely
him.
Rico.
You're dealing with New York City too.
My theory is that they used her in order to water down Cass's claims. So, because am I making sense? Because the way her testimony gave, it's like, okay, she's clingy, she's doing, yes, he did certain things to her for sure. Like no one can take that away. But I can't help but feel like on a legal standpoint and on the perspective of the jury, they used her in order to water down Cass's
She was
testimony
for
and
the
other
prosecution
stronger
though, right?
testimonies, because then if you put them to, yeah, it's obviously the burden of proof is on the
No, she
prosecution, but
testified. The prosecution called her to the witness
yes,
stand.
she
He
did,
was there
yes,
to support Cassie's
however, remember there's a
testimony.
lot of manipulation being taking place here, right? So what's to say that them actually paying for her, right, Diddy side paying for everything for her still, while she's literally going against him, was not a ploy to say, yeah, go ahead, we'll make sure we cover everything for you, because they knew what the
But
effect
she
was going
wasn't
to
the only
be.
one that he paid for. That's how they kept a lot of witnesses off the stand. He kept paying for everyone's bills, even if they were going to go for the prosecution. If they could be a witness, he covered their expenses. He was intentional with that to
Yeah,
limit,
Yeah,
to
the
that's
help put
that's
them more
prosecution
at odds
messed
against
up.
but
Ford.
that's
Some
but I
some
feel like
people that the
that's what
prosecution should
missing
have
the
brought out,
prosecution
they
too.
didn't.
Mm.
The
But he
prosecution messed
also
up.
he also offered to pay for the chef.
Right.
Contacted her. So again, this is still with the PR campaign, with contacting
Mm.
witnesses. That stuff is still happening, and I think that's why the judge was kind of lenient. I mean, was kind of hesitant on. I don't even know if I'm gonna let you to jail because you were still two crimes, even though you got all of them. You were still convicted of two. We got to think about.
But here's the thing too though. New York is weird, and I think people also overlook the fact that had he gotten Rico, he was going to be locked up for the rest of his life. Period. But people
Yeah.
may have felt this though because you're right. I agree. It's clearly a Rico. He clearly was in control of the situation. But you have to keep in mind people's biases, patriarchy, and I don't know what it is about New York, but I think patriarchy in New York is a whole nother level. They don't think that once you consent and once you can withdraw your consent. Like those people are seen to be very aggressive around when she was willingly there. She was 19 and drugged up. What else was she supposed to do?
Mm.
Like she thought she was in love. This male that's 30 years older than her manipulated her into this scenario
Groomed her.
and it intentionally set her up to look like she was cooperating with what was taking out. And y'all
Mm-hmm.
are too dumb to see like she no longer is cooperating. She wants to walk away, and he's clearly on camera stopping her from walking away repeatedly. I don't
Right.
like the fact that people are disassociating that, but out of their own egos and patriarchy, they want to allow her grace for that, and then the other women are being controlled just by money and materialism. And so it's another thing there. So they've known Diddy for decades. They love what they see from that man with 50 different names. They think he's such a father, provider, entrepreneur. He's good, quote unquote. He's a good black man. And he ain't. But he's the
No,
closest
there's
image to
nothing good
good that
about
they can
Diddy.
come
There's
up with. So
nothing
they
good
don't
about
want
that
to
guy.
hold him too much accountable, but they know they got to come out with something.
Right. Because they know that I feel like if they hold him accountable, he is going to spill all the secrets. I feel like all these pre-cuffs that he's held, do you know how many people are in, you know what I mean? How many names he has that he could reveal as a result. So they have to find a way to kind of like take away a
I
little bit of
agree.
his power and still give the public something, you know, still give
Yeah,
the public something
yeah.
without revealing everything. That's why I feel like there's a lot of the whole paying on the other side. It's weird to me. I'm like, no, it's easy to manipulate something that you have got a hand in. You see what I mean? Even if
Mm-hmm.
it's coming from the the opposition. You know, it's easy for you to manipulate it. Why? Because you're controlling the money, you're controlling the finances. So who else can you be able to kind of like sway to say, okay, make sure that this is said and done like this? And we all know how sometimes even the government, can be extremely corrupt. And from what I have read, whenever there are like federal cases, the FBI never miss. So why did they miss in this situation?
They did miss. They got 2 convictions out of 4, so they
Not good
got
enough.
something.
That was not good enough.
They got
That's
something.
a
I
miss.
honest.
No, they disappointed.
I think the thing with this, because the Southern District of New York does have a high conviction rate. A conviction is that I got guilty on it. It doesn't mean I got
Mm,
guilty on all charges necessarily.
mm,
Ideally, that would have been the case, but they did get a conviction that could carry some serious time. Now, for him, because he's never been charged before, found guilty before, and this is federal, I think he will get probably around, and this is my non legal opinion, he probably
mm-hmm.
will get around 10 to 15 years, but with good time. And honestly, let's be real, he's going to give enough to Trump
I
in,
say
in
two to
order to
five.
come out faster.
Yeah.
Oh
Now
gosh.
I
I
think
say
he's
two to
gonna. I
five.
think I
I
said two
really
to
hope the
4.
judge is gonna be hard
Trump
on him based
can
on
pardon state charges.
uh
Yeah, he can pardon the state, but he can the federal.
Yeah.
And
he's
that's
gonna
what
be
we
out
see
Yeah.
with
there
Wait a
Tia
minute,
terrorizing
here.
people.
but wait a minute, but we're in federal court. There's no currently there is no state charges. Or
No,
did I
right.
miss something?
No, you didn't miss anything, but that's just it.
I
The
thought the
state of
two
New York
charges that
can
he
file
got found
after.
guilty of was not federal charges; they're state charges.
No,
Oh,
he was in
No,
federal court.
no, everything was
Yeah, I know he
federal.
was in
Everything.
Federal.
Puerto Rico, but the two charges that they found him guilty of are not federal charges.
I'm
They
with you.
are federal
No, they
charges.
federal. That's
Those
why
are
he was in federal
federal
court.
charges.
No, but they
Yeah.
Yeah.
could do the federal
um
prosecution and then they could file it under state. Like they can still do the trial as one, but there would be state charges present.
Yeah, they can do it in New York and
But
California.
those two charges are federal. Those are because they cross state lines. That's why they
Right,
made them federal. Yeah. Those federal, all those charges are federal charges.
right.
And then
But now
California
they
hasn't
can
shown
now
up
they can
either.
bring them up on state charges in New York and California.
Right.
and there
And
are
then
other
Nevada
lawsuits
too.
pending, right? There are other lawsuits pending, aren't they?
Yeah,
Nevada
On
hasn't
him.
filed for Tupac, but that depends on the evidence that they can get.
Uh,
California hasn't participated in this prosecution either. So there's still potential to come out, but what we're about to see now is the ramp up of all his good deeds. His family's about to start coming out a lot with their interviews to what? Manipulate the algorithms and bury this whole trial.
mm, that's
and
crazy.
now you're
Oh,
really going to see
Jordan,
that
can you take the
celebrities come out
privacy?
and send letters for when he
Hmm.
go back to court.
I don't know. Ashton and his wife got roasted
Oh
once they
God.
wrote in for Danny Masterson. So I don't
Yep.
know if they'll be
Yep.
writing to the court.
No, I don't think they want to. Although there's someone who actually still who also supported the same Danny Masterson guy. He was one of the X-Men, and he's in the new series called Paradise. He played the president who got killed and stuff. I don't know how he got off. Like people, I know James Marsden, that's his name. James Marsden also supported the same guy, so I don't understand how he didn't get as much flack as
Everyone was
Ashton
talking
Kutcher.
about Ashton and Mila. That's why the bigger
Mila
names were
Kunis,
being
like he,
spotlighted.
James Marsden, literally. I went to his Instagram obviously just to see, like, whenever I watch this stuff, like I investigate everything. I said, I wonder if anyone is saying anything in his Instagram, and they were, but it's like it died down really quickly,
Mm-hmm. Because he
And then I
clammed up
see him as
quickly.
one of the
He
main
didn't say
actors.
nothing, and he let all the
Mm,
bigger headlines keep talking, and he stayed
yeah,
quiet and out of sight.
he literally did. He literally did.
People got to
Did
catch
him.
on to these
Such a
new
private chat, by the
strategies.
way.
This is why I don't like people ain't clocking the PR, the new PR schemes. Like once you start trending, you get real quiet or you just go even bigger, like Blake Lively
Hmm.
is. No one's been
Yep.
noticing like how much she's in me. Like we see a Blake Lively photo shoot every other day, an article, an
Hmm.
award. It's weird, but it's a way to keep people content buried about her court case and how that's going against Justin
Yes.
Baldoni. So it's all
But you know the
intentional.
subpoena Taylor Swift, right? The subpoena Taylor Swift's
Mm-hmm.
messaging. So I'm
Yes,
curious
I
about
need to
that.
see what Tay Tay said, but we'll get
Me
there when we
too.
get there.
What I say about what? Nothing, man.
I got really excited about seeing Taylor Swift's
What did Tia say? What she think
I
about
don't really
Katy Perry?
no,
Can
because
we
what
slip
they've
that
done
in
to
there?
Justin Baldoni is awful. So
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wish that. Also, I think Gossip Girls. I think it would be great if y'all catch on to that algorithm. because it's insane.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
No,
we
no,
gonna
I
get
was
it.
gonna come
I
a retirement
am the
for it,
gossip girl. I'm the gossip girl's
but
official and official manager, and they never listen to me, so I don't know.
We gonna start listening to you,
you
Ilonka.
know, there was a lot of
We
stuff
love
around
you, Linda.
that I was like, wow. I really wanted to talk about it. I really wanted to have panels on people with different opinions. And people get very heated. Like I saw the emotion connected to this case. I was like, OMG. Like they said
Hmm.
outside the warehouse, it was insane. They said it was insane the way people were behaving. Like they were yelling and screaming at each other. Like it was a lot.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. Honestly, that energy is horrible when it comes to Diddy, and I think that was intentional. The bad behavior outside of court.
Yeah.
Listening to those court transcript was actually like it made you want to physically like feel you felt physically ill
Mm-hmm.
because you imagine obviously we know about certain things, we're grown adults, right? We know about certain things that have happened in people's bedrooms and whatever, even when it comes to pornography and all that stuff. However, like I've never ever heard such detail, grotesque detail in my life ever. Like how does even the stuff that was being done, it's like it seems so inhumane. I
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
understand how a
I
human
think they were
being can
trying to
even live
embarrass him.
Who the fuck for one would ask for that? And for two, it don't matter if they did in some weird kind of fetish way. If they did ask for that, why would you want to
It's
do it
too
as a
much. That was too
female?
much.
Like if
Because
My
you
you
told
had to
hours, like
sit
how many
and
days
shit
in a
on
row?
that, I would be like, get the fuck out of my face. No, I'm not shitting on you. I'm not shitting on. I ain't shit nowhere in the toilet, but in the toilet. Like I'm just not gonna do it.
But
Like
I think
no.
it goes along with the whole when you reach a certain level of fame and infamy and you can't get your dopamine to trigger in a regular way, this is the poor behavior you then
Yeah.
start to participate
Yeah.
in. It
It's
And
escalates in
basically like being a
horrific
serial
ways to
killer,
feel
but in a different
dominant and
way.
get off.
right, that shit not fucking enjoying, and then too for them to even put out that she enjoyed the shit and they was enjoying it.
Mm.
Like he's a common denominator. He wanted these things to go on because the different bitches that's coming out saying the shit, why all you just find so happen to find these motherfucking bitches that wanted this stuff done to them?
That part, but that's part of the whole getting. It's part of the control. I get to set the scenario. You see the same thing. The stories coming out of Dubai, the yacht
Hmm.
stories. This is nothing
Oh
new.
Hmm.
God.
This is what these people do at that level of wealth.
Mhm.
They enjoy
Yeah.
putting people in situations like this, and that's what gets their rocks off. It's not even about the participation in the act. It's
It's
about the
about
control of
power.
the whole
Yep.
Control
situation.
and
Yeah.
And power.
how far they can
It's
get people to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. Because honestly, you think about it. Think about how many women and men that's out here that will throw themselves at these celebrities. Rather, they will want to rub somebody up
literally.
and mess with someone that's unconscious and do it against their will. It's a power
Mhm.
thing to me. Like, because nothing else makes sense. You got people that will throw themselves at these people sexually, and you ain't got to pay them or nothing. They just would be happy to be in your presence and but they would rather, in my opinion, like rug somebody up and take it against their will.
Mm-hmm.
It has something to do with power because nothing else makes sense.
Exactly what Terry said in the chat. The Alexander brothers. Those are the real estate brothers out of Miami. Twins, right? I think they're twins.
yeah.
Either way, they're
Yeah.
related. And they were rugging people and practically kidnapping them and dominating them for
Yeah.
years.
And why? Like why? Like what is the
Depravity.
cause of it? Especially when you have people that will willingly do the stuff. Like why not just fuck with them? Why are
Mm-mm.
you doing all this extra? Like it's insanity. And like Candida said, the whole basis behind it is the control thing. You are living out these sick ass fantasies for these and then I don't understand either. We might have to talk about this another day because we got to get ready to wrap this up. I don't understand about like boosting them, Candy them. We're gonna come back and talk about Candy
Oh
now.
my
Oh yeah, we
gosh.
gotta come back and talk about that one.
Okay?
I
We're gonna
don't.
come back and talk about them.
Mm.
We gonna who's that got something to say?
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
this is why I said the
Um,
celebrities are going to be supporting him because
Not
they
now,
already
now
started
that he's been
speaking.
found not guilty on some of this
Right,
shit. But again,
right. They
he was
already started.
found guilty on prostituting. Like that shit ain't cool either. The fuck? How would you feel if somebody was
But look at
prostituting?
who we talking
But
about.
look who we're
The
talking
life
about.
that
They were
Ti
in there
and
anyway.
Tiny and Candy live. They live the
yeah.
same
Exactly.
life.
Hmm.
But they've
They've
already
already
You know
been that
exposed
what?
you and
person.
lied.
They have been accused of
Yep.
many years ago. So yes, this will be a nice conversation to have the next time we go live, y'all, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, drop
Okay?
the mic.
Yeah, because it's
Check the
giving
private
birds
chat
of a
real quick.
feather is
Check the private
definitely
chat real
flocking
quick. I can
together.
say it
Okay.
tonight, but like you remember David Kazadi? He got arrested for having a sex tape in Zambia, or for putting out one or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, revenge. Yep.
Wow.
And
Yeah. So the
honestly,
girl,
that's what
Oh,
Diddy's
I
it,
about to do
remember
too.
this
him.
is something that's currently
What?
happening. This is something that's currently happening.
Wow.
It's literally currently happening. Like right now, as we're talking, it's still
That's
ongoing. He's gone back
crazy.
on his show. He's still a judge on the show, so he's still on television. But the girl is being dragged in the mud.
Oh,
Who
wow.
is this? I'm sorry, I
That's
didn't catch the
that's how they
name.
and
Who?
even with casting them, like these detailed things of their sex life and stuff like that. And then just for y'all to say, oh, that he's not guilty of that when it's was proven in court. And what this is why I put it on the stage. Can somebody mute what Nessa said? This motherfucker didn't even put up a defense. He didn't even defend himself against these allegations.
Exactly.
And they found him not guilty. Now, if you don't think something is wrong up here with that bullshit, that is something serious. He didn't put up a motherfucking defense.
The jury
You
just
kn-
wanted to go home.
I
The
think they
holidays
played.
yeah,
was coming. They
Well,
had
I'm
they did.
plans. They wanted to
Yep.
go home.
They were done.
I'm
They
I'm
were
a,
over it.
I,
Yep.
I think they were over it, but in my opinion, I feel like they didn't put up a defense because they looked at it was the prosecutor's responsibility to prove their case, and I think with uh, Jane Doe, then the Cassie's, what's the girl? Was it her makeup artist or the girl with the
Her
balcony
friend, her
situation?
stylist or something like that, the friend that
Yeah,
he hooked
the
over the balcony.
Capricorn.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
Bonga, I
know,
think, or Bana, something like that.
so you have to realize uh, those those situations took the reasonable doubt, especially when she says Didi hung her over the patio, and they came back. Whereas Didi, the time she stated, he was he wasn't even where she was. So I
Yeah.
think the
No,
reason why,
that actually did bring up reasonable doubt, Miss Jean.
yeah.
But I
So
think the date, I think she just got the date wrong because she was a rug addict. But
Right.
I think it
exactly,
did happen though.
yeah. I
But
mean,
it was one of the alternate jurors that said once he was released, he did an interview and he said when what's her name, Rashad, that used to be in Diddy DeCane's group, when she
okay.
testified, then is when they all thought that they was out to get Diddy and that it was Rico.
And
He
guess
said
what,
that.
EMB sister? He used to me again. This is why I think he's a plant. He used terminology that
Hmm.
they have been using this whole time. And he kept saying, that's when we all thought it was a takedown.
Right.
Well, how would you know what all the other
Right.
jurors were thinking if you're supposed to be talking about the case, number one? And
Exactly.
number
Mm-hmm.
and number two, you were alternate, so you wasn't in the
You
deliberation, so
wasn't
you
in the
wouldn't have known what
That's
nobody
right.
was thinking. So,
I ain't think about that
yeah,
part.
they were
Yeah.
wrong. Those jurors was a piece of shit, in my opinion.
Those
Yeah.
jurors were
But
definitely
now,
misogynistic, and they definitely thought Diddy was someone to uphold, and he didn't deserve this because
Yeah,
they all want to be Diddy. People forget when people like that, they also have the mentality of, I want to protect your bad actions because I want my turn to act badly too.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
well,
Until
and
it happened to
again,
somebody in love.
the only thing that I say, it, because of some of those situations, the Danity Kane. I mean, like with the Danity, what's her name? The Danity Kane girl,
Rashad, whatever
Rashad.
her first name is, yeah.
you know, for her to say that he treated her so bad, but then was willing to go back and work for
Get
him.
right.
So it was
Now
kind of
listen, y'all. I think the another huge mistake the prosecution made was bringing on the therapist so early. She should have came after all of their testimony so she
Agreed.
could have explained what Stockholm syndrome means
hmm
and why you go back to a person. First of all, you go back to a person with that much power and that much influence because they can ruin you in the industry. That's what you really want to do. And yeah, I think a lot of them kept going back after being treated horribly. That is something with the psyche. I don't understand it, but
Because
I
he
think
treats
that
them
they
so
should have
well
put
when he's
more
not acting
information out
poorly.
there.
He
Yeah,
gave them chances, he gave them money, he gave them titles, he gave them power. Even though it's limited power, he gave them more power than they would have got if they were somewhere else. So
Yeah.
now they feel
right.
like they have to protect him.
But it's also
So
not even his power, but remember, he also instills fear in them. So it's power,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's like if you go rogue or you feel like you can do what you want or you think you have more power than me, oh, let me remind you who I am, type of thing. And
right.
to the point that was made a little earlier, a lot of people are excusing the stuff he does because they have this narrative running. It was the same with R. Kelly when they would say stuff like, well, clear folks is doing X, Y, and Z. So why they locking up our black men, our
Oh,
moguls, our this?
child.
And it's just like, you can't be like, well, how come I'm the only one that got caught? You got caught. You got to take your
It's
L. That's
still
it. That's
wrong.
all. Huh?
Like it's still wrong whether you got caught or not.
Right.
Exactly.
That
Right.
nasty
Exactly. You
narrative,
can't be
it
like,
kills
well,
me.
such and such red rum somebody, and how come they walk in the street? Well, they ain't get caught yet. You did. Like,
Right. They love to bring up Leo. And I'm like, Leo is smart enough to have NDA signed. Everyone is consenting. He probably gets consent on camera and they on the boat. They in maritime law. Who's
Right.
prosecuting them?
Right.
right, best,
So
yeah.
so
On the water
but
is
my point.
murky.
There's loads of potential Caucasian PDF files and everything. Jared Leto is on that list. You know what I mean? He's got a whole
Oh,
cult
yeah.
and
He's
everything.
got a whole
So
cult.
they are there, but I feel like sometimes as Black folk, we need to stop laser focusing on the bad popular, famous, rich, whatever, black people who do well but have committed crimes. They have committed a crime. Just because they're black, it doesn't make the crime any less of a crime. They've committed a crime. They've committed a
Exactly,
heinous crime.
exactly.
They've done acts of evil. Like, which part of that do you not understand? Are you going to honestly let your blackness get in the way of justice? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we really, and when we step back and we actually look at the bigger picture, we will see that there's actually loads of Caucasian villains out there, evil people, nasty people out there. And I think, like you said about Leo, they just know how to circumvent the system because,
Right.
yes, unfortunately, it is rigged slightly against us. But also, we need to remember that we, especially when we get famous, we've got a bad habit of feeling the need to show everything off. There's a reason why Richard Branson still looks like an everyday guy. Okay,
Talk about
he
it,
doesn't go
Laka.
around. He
Not
doesn't
only
go
show
around
everything
showing
off,
off
but move
everything.
sloppy. Like, why?
See?
Shannon Sharp, you knew
Yes,
this deal was coming. Why are you out here going around gossiping about everyone and then hanging out with the
thank
19-year-old
you.
old?
Exactly. And this is the reason why they try to use them as examples because they're like, okay, this one's talking too much. Because remember, there's a whole messy system behind the scenes that's disgusting, that's nasty. People probably get unalived all the time. People go missing all the time. But they know how to navigate the system. They know how to navigate without making too much noise. Okay. They are smart basically about how they move. You see what I mean? Whereas these black celebrities, they give them a bit of power when not the ones who are really even the ones moving the chess pieces, anyways, to begin with. Let's talk about that. Didi's not the one that's fully moving the pieces. He could be an op for all we know. Do you see what I mean? And so, but
Mm-hmm.
because he was doing too much, he was doing too much, he was on the verge of getting other people exposed because of his carelessness, they had to make an example out of him. That's
I
why this
totally
case
agree.
seems really dodgy. That's why I find the case seems just really dodgy because I just I can't wrap my hand around the fact that they did not use common sense. I'm not even a lawyer. I have an interest in law, but I looked at it, I thought even what Didem said, the psychologist, and I said, wait, they could have said there is Stockholm syndrome is the thing. How is it they never even brought that up?
Right.
I don't
Because then they
understand.
could have, they didn't know if the defense was going to happen or not. So I will give them credit. They didn't know if the defense was going to actually put on a defense, and they didn't want to introduce too much all at once. I think they knew they had to create a pattern, so there was already multiple witnesses. And the timing of the therapist, I agree, was problematic. They could have waited till
But they could have
after
called
they
that
had
back
all the
in.
victims up there and did that, and then they could have brought up a financial person, a CPA or someone, to say how the finances of the business were poorly used in the participation of crimes. Like, show me the transactions, and they didn't do that clearly.
I agree
So
with
But I
that,
feel like
Kendra.
I have
even
a
when you arrest
question.
your witness, can you not call? You can call your witness back in. And so, like when they saw that the defense
Yeah, for
didn't
a
have
rebuttal.
any, yeah, they could have literally brought them back out again. But I feel like they had an opportunity, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna waste the state's money, waste it
Right.
properly.
Yeah, I
So
don't
Don't
think
just
they
I
did
have
a
waste
a
good
it.
job.
question.
They actually
I
did
ha-
try to bring her back, but the defense fought against it. They tried to the psychologist back, but they fought against
Mm,
it and they won
Oh,
that
yeah,
fight.
they sure did. They
yeah.
sure did.
so I have a question. Why didn't they put KK on the stand?
That's
Because she
all of our
was
question.
there,
And she
Now
need to
that's
be
a
Thank
brought
you.
up on some
great
charges.
and
question.
they probably
That's a
wasn't
great
She
willing to
need
put
to
her
be
on.
brought up on some charges.
And
And
she
so,
probably is. Probably everybody around his ass now that he done made them
well,
damn 6 women look like some damn fools. You know they about to be out for blood.
and see that's what I was gonna. I mean, I listened to all of it, but just me, my opinion and me thinking that if
Mm,
they wanted to pull off that Rico, one of the things they should have brought on was KK. They brought, I mean, even Diddy's assistant, he really didn't help the case, because he was saying they set up the rooms, but it was for him and his girlfriends.
But he was hired under the Enterprise, a bad boy Enterprise. Why is he in a hotel room setting up baby oil?
He
And then
was,
you knew it was going to facilitate some poor acting. Like he testified to the abuse too. He was a decent witness, but he needed someone higher up in the org. I agree, in order to say, yeah, I was directed by Diddy to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
right. So that's why, I kind of feel like that's why Diddy didn't come with any defense because they really didn't pull what they needed to pull out of the people that they put on stand. They kind of
yeah.
left you lingering, like I want more. So I think that's why he probably didn't call any witness to the stand because it they probably felt which the jury was, there was enough reasonable doubt in certain situations that they didn't need any help because even when they came at the end with the text messages, you know, it, it's like
But Diddy also, in 24 hours after Cassie filed that lawsuit, paid her off. You
Mm.
Because he
don't
knew
pay
he was
nobody off
guilty.
that quickly.
And,
So
and
Right.
that,
He knew he
quickly.
was guilty.
that amazes me that they couldn't get a fucking guilty verdict out of his ass.
Right.
He settled that shit in 10 damn minutes.
That was the fastest
Literally.
settlement I think I've
Right.
ever
Fastest
Because
heard.
Ever
they
settlement.
seen. Ever
read that
seen.
shit.
but I mean let's
Question.
look
I've got a
let's look
question. What do you
I'm
guys
sorry,
think
go ahead.
about the female black lawyer who's a former DV, I think SA actually, survivor that was on the defense? Because she
She's good.
objected.
She's known to win a lot of cases in Atlanta. She's good.
But the
Cognitive
thing
dissonance is
about that
key.
is that sometimes, and I'm not saying all, but sometimes when women are victims of that,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they feel like if they got their ass beat, then she could get her ass beat too. She ain't too pretty to get her ass beat too. I got my ass beat and I'm fine.
No,
Some
I think she was just doing her job.
thing. She probably was doing her job, and that's a lot of money to turn down. But
Yeah.
sometimes that's how some people think, and sometimes they think, and that's why Diddy Team Two kept mentioning how pretty Cassie no was and stuff like that because they know that some women that's not that attractive will feel the
Mm-hmm.
way. like, oh, she
It wasn't a manipulation. You're right.
you saw her pretty ass and she
Yeah,
got her ass
They
beat.
don't think that pretty women go through
Get
hardship,
her
and that's
ass
what they
beat.
wanted to
yeah,
Like,
create.
yeah,
like
yeah.
they,
And that can go back to that can go back to Tisa. We don't know what Tisa had been through in the past. She could have been raped. You know what I'm saying? She could have seen some shit. She could have gone through some shit. Is why she's so passionate about this.
yeah. Yeah, and
Mm.
they try to do anything to bring them down. Like even like me, like I haven't been through like DV relationships and stuff like that, but I have experienced some of that type of stuff, but not to the extent to where, like some people have. But I'm still very passionate because I watch family members go through that shit.
Right. Exactly.
Go through that shit. So
Exactly.
I'm 100% like fuck whatever you talking about. Y'all seen that fucking video of him knocking that fucking girl out, kicking her and dragging her back to the room. The case is closed.
But you also got to keep in
Tay, but
mind some people think
yeah,
that type of dynamic is normal and is
Yeah.
part of the relationship,
And it's
and that they were
like they
on
keep
rugs,
but
saying
and so this is
but
people
that
see,
dynamic.
trafficking, just like they people kept saying like DD don't equal Rico and all this type of stuff. But
I
if
agree. I
okay,
agree,
so they
Patrice.
can do those predicates, do the trafficking, do the prostitution tea and all that stuff. If he was doing that and all that stuff, then that's Rico. And again, when did DV
Wait a
become
minute.
legal? What?
Let's not even forget about the bribery. They proved bribery twice with Cassie's mother and with that
Yeah.
hotel tape.
Yep.
So Rico
Hmm.
was there.
Clock
They
it.
just want
He was
but
they
right
didn't
there.
want to do Rico.
but but
Clock it.
the thing is, he really wasn't on trial for the abuse or bribery. If they had added those charges in, then yes. But they
No, Miss
why
Jean. No, Miss Jean. Bribery was one of the predicates. If you look under the RICO charge, there was, I believe, 6 or either 8 predicates
And all they
that,
needed was two.
and all they needed was
Oh, okay.
2. That
Okay.
yes, and they found one. I think they found one with the SMEX trafficking, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that they took it off. That's why I do believe that they originally had that as guilty for Cassie. And so with that, that would have been one predicate for Rico, right? They was looking for the second. To me, they had the second with bribery. They had the second with the explanation that they got of the rugs being distributed. They had with that. They even though they couldn't prove that it was him, I feel that they even somewhat had it with the arson. It was a little shaky, but the whole thing with arson is you're not gonna find his fingerprints because again, it's the enterprise. You get other people to do your dirty
Mm-hmm.
work, not
You
you.
heard them say it was a woman's fingerprints. It could have been KK's.
It could have been KK's. It could have been any other assistant that he had or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is he was never going to have his hands dirty with some of that stuff because that's the whole reason for the RICO charge. He was coordinating all of this stuff.
Yep. You hear the questions he was asking Cassie? He knew what he was doing. He
Yeah.
definitely knew what he was doing. The
Asking that
questions that
weird
he
shit
would ask
after
Cassie.
dinner. Like what daddy, quit playing games with us. Okay, y'all. We have to wrap it up right here.
This is good.
The road. I have to get on the road. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you got to
Yes.
roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I
You know,
enjoyed y'all.
we can have a panel tomorrow. We're gonna talk about some of the celebrities that came out and spoke after he been found not guilty, that one speaking up before. Okay, and we're gonna talk about it all. Okay. Tomorrow. We'll talk about that part tomorrow. And I'm gonna open the panel up for everybody to come up that want to come up. Hey, Miss Bridget J 914. So yes, we got y'all tomorrow. Okay, for sure, for sure, for sure. Alaka, I got you. Okay, tonight. For sure, for sure, for sure. And
No problem.
okay, thank you, love. Thank you.
I hope you like them.
I
I
I
did.
agree, Dr. Nicole.
Okay, right. So they need to give this. Right. Thank you. Because again, but again, we gonna have to come. That might be coming up. They might have just been doing a test to see what they can, put together real quick with this shit right here. But they
Exactly.
on his ass now. So we gonna see. And thank y'all all for coming up, everything. And look at the Gossip Girls, child, back together again. Child,
Yes, we miss y'all. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Now, can you give what happened to
I
Didim's
miss
profile
y'all.
picture? Why has she got a D?
because she ain't been on this motherfucking so damn long. They done took it. They won't even let her get her graphic.
we we need the Diddy girls. We need y'all to come back.
GG for life, child. All right, I love y'all. We'll see
Oh,
y'all
sure.
Love you
tomorrow
more.
for
Thanks, y'all.
sure.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
Love you too.
Have a
Love
good night,
you.
guys.
Bye,
Good
y'all.
night.
way out. All right, let me get it. Everybody, it seemed I done get stuff.
Check. All I really wanna see is the. I don't really need a D, I need the. All I